Once upon a partnership, a movement was born. An idea became a prototype whose energy would spread across industries and onto the streets of Europe. DFDS electric trucks were out. Well treated on our journey, greeted by prime ministers and unicorns. We were the first e-truck in Belgium, and first in Lithuania too. Launches in Netherlands, Sweden, Germany, and of course, home in Denmark. We've moved freight of all sorts, for all sorts of companies. Steel, automotive, and cold chain. And I know what you're thinking. Charging problems? Our partnership with Kempower has installed charging stations in Belgium, Sweden, Netherlands. We have grown with record-breaking orders to the largest fleet in Europe. We are a front-runner, and when you hit the ground running, sometimes the ground will hit you back. But we always find a way.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Partnership is Leadership, Electrifying the UK Freight. Goodness, we need to do this. My name is Robert Llewellyn. Some of you may remember me from TV shows like Red Dwarf, Scrap Heap Challenge, How Do They Do It? I'm now, for the last 15 years, been working on a show called Fully Charged, which looks at electrification of ground transport, clean energy, and all those associated topics. So that's kind of why I'm here. So first up, please welcome onto the stage DFDS's Executive Vice President and Head of Logistics, Nicholas Anderson. Woo! How does it feel to have your electric trucks operating in this country?
It is fantastic, and just every time we launch a new product in a new geography, it is amazing for us, and we're really excited for that. When it comes to UK, it's a little bit extra exciting. You could think I'm just saying that because I'm in UK, but this is actually where, it's one of the largest economies in the world. It's a huge footprint as well for DFDS, so it is so important for us to be here as well, and extremely excited and just to get it rolling.
When did DFDS start its electric truck operation altogether?
So we started already with the first pilot phases of the Volvo electrical trucks through a good partnership together with Volvo Trucks, of course. We've been strategic partners for decades, DFDS right. And Volvo. So that was natural for us to go with that. And, it was 1-2 years where we had the pilot trucks, and then we eventually deployed the first electrical truck in Belgium in 22. So that was an interesting journey. Of course, with challenges, and of course with a lot of things happening during the way, but it's been a fantastic road up until then.
Right. And so how many trucks have you got in operation today then?
Yeah, 115. So that is Europe's largest fleet of heavy-duty trucks. Right. On the road, and coming 110 more during the next 5 quarters.
Right. So in this room, we've got a diverse collection of people, from innovators of electric trucks and charging infrastructure to data analysts and retailers, people with the ability to decarbonise the UK supply chain. So what do you want them to remember from today before they leave?
Yeah, but I think it's with collaboration and a little bit of boldness, a little bit of a lot of trust, and to create the partnerships and be transparent with each other, then you can achieve whatever you set yourself to do.
And action.
You don't need to be an actor to act.
With or without.
But a partner helps, as does vision.
You will soon have 225 electrical trucks on the road.
And commitment.
Hello, Niklas. Happy anniversary, Roger. Happy anniversary yourself. Great to see you. So what is the plan?
That is a surprise.
Great. Great.
I'll tell you later.
With an award-winning truck.
This is recharging, Niklas.
Yeah, definitely.
Expertise. And an industry-shaping partnership.
Niklas,
Ross here.
Good to see you. It is the second up here to the right.
But shouldn't we meet tomorrow?
No. I've been here for you all the time. Partnership,
It's the new leadership.
and I'm so excited about your electric launch here in UK with Volvo FH Electric.
And so are we. Come, let's go.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome onto the stage the president of Volvo Trucks, Roger Alm. So that was a great performance. Let's put trucks to one side for a moment. Are you two both planning a career in Hollywood? I mean, I think it's all there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
I think actually we are better in doing what we are doing actually.
I think you are.
But I think as well, the message that we are providing is a very important message. And I hope it's reaching out to you and a lot more into our transport industry.
And so what is it that makes a good partnership? Clearly you've got a very good partnership. What is that? What's the gist of that?
It's meant, from my point of view, it's a lot of things that is making a good partnership. Of course, you need to share the same values, and you need to be able to move forward, and you need to trust each other. Because partnership is about making business and dealing with things, solving problems in a good way, and then you need to trust each other. If we say something that will happen, it has to happen,
Yeah.
because otherwise you are losing the trust. And there is where you need to build on a whole partnership. It's the same as a family.
Yeah.
You build that in a family as well.
And DFDS aims to have 25% of its fleet electric by 2030. I mean, you've got to be pretty bullish to make that happen. What makes you?
No, but we think, or we know, we just need to do it. There is no alternative. We need to decarbonise the supply chains, and
Yeah.
of course we are Scope 1 emitter as well. So we're right in the midst of that. So we just need to make it happen.
Yeah.
That is just the ambition from me and the executive management of DFDS, that we need to do this.
Yeah. And Roger, tell us about the award you got then. What was that?
We received the award last year to be the first OEM truck manufacturer to receive the award International Truck of the Year for an electrical product ever. So that is something very important step into the whole industry. That means that electrification is getting more and more important, is coming closer to everybody, and this is the future. And we have now built a very strong position as Volvo Trucks then in terms of electrical products. Today, we have 8 models into serial production, and we can electrify all kind of segments, all kind of transport. It works in reality today. And I think DFDS is a really proof that this is functioning.
Nicholas, what difference can a single truck make to reducing the carbon footprint compared to diesel?
You know, we do one for Volvo cars now in local Gothenburg, where we actually decrease 31,000 kilos of CO2 per year.
DFDS are decarbonizing Volvo Cars' supply chain, from the Volvo factory in Torslanda to the world of Volvo in Gothenburg. DFDS drives 29,000 kilometers every year to deliver 4,800 cars. Using a customized trailer designed for tight spaces, the new cars are safely delivered for their owners to collect. This single DFDS electric truck saves Volvo 31,111 kilograms of CO2 per year, and is proof that moving forward together with purpose, DFDS and their partners turn ambition into action, and small steps into lasting impact.
Yeah. Well, that looked like a very interesting trailer, the car delivery trailer. Really nice, yeah.
We need to meet the demands, of course, of our customers, and we're willing to do that. And of course, the disco trailer for Roger, of course, which he wanted to do.
No, and you saw that with this specific trailer, you saw then the flexibility of DFDS, what they can do, and then deliver our own people in a party trailer to celebrate what we have been doing together.
Right.
So I think that is great flexibility from a customer and also a supplier to us, as DFDS is doing transport for Volvo Trucks as well.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a well-earned day off for the truck then. I know that you're working hard on the Volvo truck supply chain. Can we have a look at that? There's a film about that as well.
DFDS electric trucks are on the road. quietly moving between Volvo Trucks factory in Skövde and the port of Gothenburg. These 6 electric trucks cover 640 kilometers daily. With an average load of 22 tons, this well-planned operation saves Volvo Trucks 920 tons of CO2 a year. World-class logistics with a world-class truck.
But then it's not just in Sweden, I mean, where you have electric trucks. You're in 8 European countries now. So can you tell me about that? That can't have been easy to launch that.
As I said from the start, it was easy to buy them. And then, of
Yeah.
course, it's a little bit tougher to deploy them as well. And in Belgium, first electric truck, fantastic. All our automotive customers are driving. We have mega trailers for them. The truck isn't a mega truck at the moment, or low wheels. So there we needed to work with the governments to get the permit to drive with a higher height in Belgium and stuff like that. That goes all over the place. And it's also a little bit to see with the charging infrastructure, which is more mature in some countries, and a little bit less mature in other countries. And then I know, and the team out here as well from DFDS, they were faced with 60 trucks almost in Gothenburg that we needed to charge with green electricity,
Right.
which wasn't as easy as I thought. So we actually built our own charging stations, which were the biggest in Sweden at the moment. Now it's probably bigger out there, but so we just needed to get it running.
Yeah.
But it's also what you said in the beginning, Nicholas, is about making bold decision. And you have done that, taking a very, very bold decision. Because in the beginning, when we started with electrification 3 years ago in your company, you were not sure what you should use them for. But you were very sure that this is the future. This is the right thing today. And today you are the leader in the electrifications of transport in the industry in Europe, and you have taken so much big steps ahead, and you have learned so much, and we have learned as well, because you are a big supplier to us, and you are making a lot of transport, and that is also a partnership, how we are then dealing with each other. This is not simple, definitely not. This is a journey that we need to do, and all of us need to start on this one, because we need to create a better world to live in. We need to reduce carbon. We need to reduce CO2. We have a huge responsibility, all of us, to make this happen.
Thank you. Can we give a big round of applause, please, for Nicholas and Roger? Thank you. Thanks, guys. Wonderful. Thank you. Could you please raise your hand if you think that today, the 25th of October 2024, the UK is ready for electric trucks? Oh, okay. Well, it's kind of more than I expected. That's good. That's very optimistic. Very good. Yes. Our next guests are working at the cutting edge of HGV electrification. Let's find out how electric trucks are used today and the roadmap to increase their use in the future.
Certainly. So based on the figures that we have, there's about 300 registered electric HGVs that we know of in the UK. That's out of a total vehicle size of about 500,000, just to put that in perspective. What's DFDS bring to this? First of all, really want to congratulate you for leading the way, and I think importantly, making this real. Because the haulage industry, we are a critical industry. We transport goods from A to B. We're an economic enabler. That ability to transport goods has to happen, and what you're doing to demonstrate how this can happen, by reducing carbon emissions, absolutely is the way we need to go.
The government of the time announced the successful projects within the zero emission HGV and infrastructure demonstrator program, the ZHID, that's what it stands for, yeah. So that's a £200 million government investment looking at the battery electric HGVs and the associated charging infrastructure. So pretty sizable. And we're looking at the learnings around that, the data, the dissemination pieces associated. Right. We have the I for infrastructure and ZHID. So we're currently looking at around 70 publicly available sites within the program that are being funded. So that's both public depot sites managed by operators, and then also a number of public-facing motorway service areas. And that, I think, will really help the uptake for people within the program and outside of the program, having that available infrastructure, knowing that they have the availability of charging. I think there's also an interesting aspect of the fact that the depot owners and fleet operators, there's potential for additional revenue streams as well. So for instance, we're seeing a lot of business models coming about where operators are opening their depot recharging facilities to the wider network, there's revenue streams coming through from that.
Angus, I mean, what's Dynamon's take on charging and the challenges we face?
We're involved in ZHID as well. We're leading one of the consortiums which DFDS is part of. Sharing depot infrastructure, we believe, is a huge opportunity for the industry because we want to really reduce the cost of deploying infrastructure in multiple locations. And so if fleets can share their infrastructure, they can access someone else's capital investment and provide revenue to the counterparty, but also not need to do it themselves and pay probably a lower rate on energy. Actually, if you do the analysis, you can find cost-effective deployments of electric vehicles. You can find areas where charging infrastructure can be deployed. And we found areas where a fleet can electrify with a relatively small amount of chargers.
But massive, significant, multiple benefits with transitioning to EV, not just clearly, carbon emissions, air quality, but opportunity for new business models.
I'll ask you, Chris, when do you expect electric trucks to become mainstream, the majority?
So we're guided by the Climate Change Committee and their forecasts here, and if you read their wonderful outputs, they're kind of predicting from 2030 to 2032 is the sweet point where we'll start seeing the mass uptake of electric HGVs in this country. Now, we're only, 7 years away from that, 8 years away from that. There's an awful lot of work to be done, and we're hearing some of the issues that are being articulated. So what are we about? We're about working through those issues. It's about working with companies like Dynamon, Volvo, DFDS, tapping into their expertise so that we can make this happen. But I think also I just want to just say, and on a positive note here, we should say, the potential is huge here. The opportunities are huge here. This is now about making it real, and that is why today's launch is so welcome about how we can make this real.
Thank you. Thank you. We've seen that progress has been made in the electrification of HGVs in the UK. We've heard how effective planning can mitigate these changes, but the challenges, they are something a customer has to be willing to take on. So why would you? Let's find out by speaking to two very different brands who have added DFDS electric trucks to their fleets in this country. First, a high-energy American drinks brand.
I don't think it would be so bold to say that really we wouldn't have had the success that we have had in the past few years if it hadn't have been for DFDS and their partnership and their ability to help us deliver. Service is massively important to us. Cans in hands is the thing that we do, and our service level is really quite phenomenal right now. For electrical trucks, we just didn't see, and we know that DFDS are a front runner, and their partnership with Volvo, we recognise that is market leading, industry leading, and already partnering in so many ways. It was just a natural thing to do. We genuinely saw this as the right thing to do, the thing that we need to do. We are the leaders of today, and it's our duty to tackle the decarbonisation sustainability journey. And as I say, I think it's been met with admiration from our customers and a bit of stimulation of thought of what they should be doing as well. Monster grow rapidly. We double our business every 4 years, and we found out that DFDS Logistics pretty much do the same. And so the ability for us to collaborate and solve challenges together has been quite phenomenal.
So please welcome to the stage Richard Fletcher, Vice President of Supply Chain for EMEA at Monster Energy.
I think for Monster, we always consider ourselves kind of innovative. We're in the Forbes top innovative companies. And so something like this, partnering with DFDS and particularly in the UK, is an innovative drive for us. But let's also remember the economic factors here. I mean, there's a cost avoidance thing in doing this right and doing it right now. We won't double our business every 4 years if we don't treat this seriously.
Right.
So we have to do it. It's not an option. I like what I heard about the ZHID program. I came here this morning myself with concerns around infrastructure. I'm committed to doing this. We're looking at heat maps. Where are we running vehicles? What's the distances we can travel? But obviously it needs to be tied in with infrastructure, but we're committed to the journey. Absolutely.
Right. That's fantastic. But you can tell me, how have DFDS helped you in this journey?
Oh, well, without DFDS, it wouldn't have been possible. They've made it possible for us, and they've made it easy. They work really well with us. They're not so demanding on some of the cost challenges at times. So it's just literally not been possible without them.
Right. And what would you say to someone, if you met someone through work who's in the similar position in another company, what would you say to them about going electric?
Be persistent, be resilient. You know it's the right thing to do. You've got to just buckle up and do it.
Right. That's good.
The time is now.
Yeah, very good. Well, thank you very much, Richard. Round of applause for Richard, please. So our next company is over 120 years old. It's proudly British and with a royal warrant. A pioneering bed maker that provides comfort with integrity and now uses transport with integrity.
My name is David Baldry. I'm Group Managing Director of Hypnos Beds. So, right, let's get comfortable. As a 120-year-old bed furniture manufacturing business, we make mattresses every day. They're big, fragile, easy to mark, but also because of the quality and care we put into our hand-manufactured products, we need to make sure they get to the final destination perfectly every time. So, here we are in my first electric truck drive, and we're going to follow one of my colleagues, and off we go. It's so smooth. So we're going to start working on a plan over the next 5 years on how we evolve our fleet into something that meets the standards we have for all our ethical sourcing, and that can then be transport with integrity as well. Big wide turn, and don't take out the charging posts. As it stands today, we're going to put 2 trucks into a market with no HGV recharging facilities located. Well, somebody needs to hurry up and put some in. And it goes up really easily, which is quite shocking. So it's good fun. Thank you for organising this. And as of yet, nobody on the team that's been involved in this has said, no, that's impossible. Everyone said, how can we do this? So the challenge really is, how do we make it work? This is my favourite bit as well, because obviously I'm such an experienced truck driver of 1.5 minutes. You just let off and let the truck do the work, and it slows down. Both the team are really excited because it's not us just saying we're going to do something. We are actually working with partnerships to enable us to deliver on our promises, but also setting a new standard and leading the way. Because the other thing that's quite cool is how the steering does all the active stuff. I'm quite fortunate having a bit of the inside track into one of our customer meetings recently, and the immediate thing that they said was, okay, we want our delivery of our 250 beds into central London on that electric truck. How can we make that happen? Don't get reactions like that when you're talking about normal stuff. So this really is
Welcome, David. Thank you very much. Well, congratulations on owning the UK's first DFDS electric truck. How does that feel?
I have to say, from the start of this journey, because we only moved to be a customer of DFDS in January, we ordered our first electric truck in April. Every part of it has been exciting, wonderful, and fun. There's an opportunity to lead and give customers what they want, whether that's a retailer or a hotel. We all have targets and we all want to do things. And this is tangible. You can see it, you can touch it. If any of you want to come to Princess Risborough, you can have a play in it. It is one of the best things that we've ever done.
Wow, it sounds incredibly positive. So what are your plans going forward then for the company?
So going forward, we've made a few bold steps. That's the first truck on our trip over to the UK. We have our second one arriving in a few weeks' time. We have a third one arriving in around April. We've just put planning permission in because I quite like the idea of having our own charge park. Henrik showed me that, and why not copy it? Let's try it. I'd be very interested to understand that scheme on how we can work together to get correct power in, how we can maybe use that for other partners. And we've now started working with the DFDS team on not the 2040 transition plan, but actually beating it. One of the things that stands out is we started in January, we're already going EV. The partnership that we've seen all the way through, whether that's when we came, where we saw the guys at Volvo, when we were with DFDS at every stage of the way, it's not what's the problem, it's how can we make it happen. Let's go and do it. My colleague from Monster Energy, we have to do it, so let's make it work.
Thank you very much, David. Big round of applause for David, please. Thank you. So we've heard about existing customers planning to invest more in electric trucks, and if you're inspired by what you've heard today, then it's time to meet the people who can help you start your electric truck journey in the UK. We've just heard that the UK team was able to launch its first very quickly for Hypnos beds. How did you actually manage that? Because there's quite a lot of stuff to do when you're doing that.
Absolutely. I think first of all, I think we learned from the experience of our international colleagues. You asked a little bit the question, where is the UK on this journey?
Yeah.
Well, we learn from those guys who are well ahead of us. Internally, we take that experience, but then we get extremely fortunate with our great customer, Hypnos, who have a lot of vision and foresight to say that, okay, we're just going to do it. Right. And then the combination of that then just makes it work.
So, Casper, this is a big step for companies. What advice do you have?
To the customers.
To the customers, to your customers, yeah.
Well, okay, where to start and where to end. I think, in all fairness, a lot of that has actually been captured and well articulated by a couple of our customers who've been here on the stage. But I think, not stating the obvious, it's great to have, and the simple answer could have been, yeah, we just need more Davids and Richards of this world. But I don't know if we do. But I do know that when Richard says, you just need to buckle up, and David says, we all know we have to do it, it's right, both of them. Having said that, I'm also humble and well aware that many of you will represent organizations where you may not have that influential people around in your organization to make sure this is well anchored. So one advice and shared reflection would be, whilst knowing this is the right thing for us to do, also remain humble and resilient when you in your organization meet resistance to actually do the transition in the same pace as you would anticipate relevant. This is a transition in all aspects, right? It's a physical transition, but it's also a cultural transition. You will meet companies or representatives in your organization for whom this is an organizational cultural transition. And I see a lot of you nodding, so I know I'm onto something here. And I think two things on that. One, the moment we accept that it's a transition, we also implicitly accept that we need to do something different. So when we look at the ways we used to look at transportation A to B, I'm not saying throw all of that away. There's still massive value in it, but we need to understand that that needs to be, redefined and revisited and added with something else. And the moment we do that, we can also start asking ourselves new questions, like, for instance, who can I team up with, right? We talked a lot about partnerships. I would like to push partnership to next level. It's great to see Roger and Nicholas, inspiration for all of us. But I'm really thinking about, partnerships beyond just supply and customer, right? There's also an end customer. There's also peers in the industry who can be inspirational in terms of how their journey has been.
Yeah. So that is it for Partnership is Leadership, and clearly the partnership aspect of what we've seen today is critically important in the journey to electrify UK freight. So now it's all over to you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today. Thank you.